The sound magnets. Everybody wants a Bose, whether it's the Bose wave sound system, or in this case, this is actually called the Bose Solo 5 television sound system. This will be the one and only day we are going to offer this on 6 monthly easy payments. It's the same price we've had before, but that's QVC price of $249.95. But you can break it down into 6 monthly payments of $41.66. Now, let me just say this. If you like to watch sports, if you like to watch movies, if you like to watch those evening soap operas, if you like to watch those comedies, everything will sound better on this Bose Solo 5.
Yeah, and to be clear, just for you wondering, you're not getting a television. You're going to get this piece of equipment right here. This is the Solo 5.
Sound bar.
Yeah, it's a sound bar, and there's a number of different versions of the Bose and the Solo and the sound bar and stuff. What's nice about this one is that it's thin enough and it's small enough that you can either put it directly under a TV. You don't have to worry about weight because it's not thick enough that you would rest the television on it, or you can mount this on the wall. What it does is it takes away from having to drill holes in the wall, takes away from having to buy all this expensive equipment to put like 18,000 different speakers in and then have to bury them all over your home. This goes right underneath the TV and will change the way, truly, that you listen to a show.
Listen to this.
Check this out. This is the television speaker that we're listening to. It's okay. Watch what happens when we flip the switch. Now.
At least I could carry out my work in peace.
As you'll notice.
Listen real carefully.
5 years in this line of work.
What are you hearing? It's not just louder. Listen for the details.
When it gets quiet,
the cash register.
There's a reason.
Here comes the earthquake. You can hear the coffee being poured into the mug. Now it seems like they suck the life out of it. This is the TV sound. Back to Bose.
I'm used to it.
Back to the TV. What happened?
Wow.
Back to Bose.
Time available too.
You know what this is doing? This is turning your television into a movie theater.
Yeah.
It's almost a crime how bad TV speakers sound, and I don't mean this disrespectfully because I know the whole idea is for a TV to be this thin. So what do you lose out on? You lose out on the audio because there's physically no place to put the audio anymore.
Because everybody wanted bigger picture, but then
bigger picture and a thinner bezel and a thinner screen.
But like you say, where's the speakers? Well, I have to say, this is the coolest. We have one, just one. I'm thinking today, possibly a second, because you know you have obviously different TVs in different rooms and whatnot. But the fact is that when you start to watch your movies on your DVD player or your Blu-ray player, or just the ones that are on if you have DirecTV or you've got Netflix or whatever, I'm telling you what, you will be blown away. I always say, if you don't want people to visit your home, don't buy this. Because if you buy this, they will come.
And they won't leave.
They won't leave. They'll come and they won't leave. But that's the whole key. Here's the thing I want to ask you, a couple quick things. One is, what kind of TV can this hook up to?
This will work with anything that you've got, because the nice part about it is it doesn't matter the size, doesn't matter who makes it. You've got an HDMI port, whatever it might be, any type of cabling. So if you've got a Blu-ray player and you just want to use it for Blu-ray, if you've got a DVD player, kids want to use it for their gaming system. So it's pretty versatile as far as what you can hook it up to. There's no restrictions on television size. And again, nothing to mount, nothing to have to wire and then hide those wires, whatever it might be, because you can put it anywhere you want. They recommend that you put it directly on your television. For those of you wondering about surround sound and stuff like that, believe it or not, in a true surround sound format where you've got 5 or 7 speakers, the speaker that's directly below the television does all the work. That's where all the dialogue comes from. The extra speakers to the left and the right and all that stuff, that's all for the effects. That's for the airplanes flying over your head and stuff like that. The majority of us are watching a TV and we want to be able to hear what we're watching without having to turn it up, right?
Right.
So instead of sitting in front of the TV, and even if your hearing's perfect, your husband or your wife's like, turn it up, I can't hear what the reporter's saying. Turn it up, the explosions in the movie are too loud. There is a dialogue button that's on the remote control that will allow you to kind of separate that audio and grab the dialogue, boost the dialogue, so now you can actually hear what they're saying.
I had it upside down.
Yeah, and there's a little dialogue button right there. So it's doing more than just perfecting the sound. it's giving you the opportunity to hear what it is. I know it sounds stupid, hear what you want to hear.
Exactly.
Not just louder, but actually be able to understand what they're saying.
I mean, most of the time, you end up having to sit with the remote in your
Yeah.
hand to turn it up, turn it down, turn it up, turn it down. Now you've got something that's already helping you do that. And it's like freeing, and it sounds amazing. We have fewer than 900 of these available. I just want to remind you that if you want this for $41.66 a month on a credit card, this is in your home in about a week's time. Now, does it matter? Now, first of all, I was going to ask you, this is a universal remote.
It is.
So obviously it's from Bose, it's for the Bose soundbar, but also can you put it so that your TV's on here, your DVD player?
I call it a smart remote because it is smart enough. You'd have to teach it. But if you've got a Blu-ray player or whatever it might be, and you have these other components, so instead of having 15 different remotes, hey, where's the one for the TV? How do I turn the volume? All that stuff. This will do all the work for you. Yeah. And again, it has the magic of that dialogue button on there as well. So whatever, in fact, you can see up on the top here, all the different components that you could add to this. So there's your cable box, and there's your Blu-ray or your DVD player. If you've got a gaming system, it'll turn your television on and off. If you've got something we haven't mentioned, that could be under auxiliary. And there's the magic Bluetooth button on there as well. Bluetooth meaning you could shoot audio wirelessly from other devices directly to this. So they've
got my phone?
Yes, exactly.
Like my iPad?
All that music and all that other good stuff.
Wow.
So they've covered the whole entire gamut there. They've got the ability now to be able to listen to anything through your Solo.
So when I set this up, I've got to plug it into electric.
You plug it into electric.
And I plug it into my TV.
Correct. And the nice part about it is they give you cabling for it, but it doesn't matter what type of cable you have. So whether it's the HDMI or I'm not gonna bore you with all the tech terms and stuff. You're like, this is the one I got. Will this work?
Yeah.
The answer is yes. So depending on what cable came with your device or what cable you need, it's smart enough too to automatically switch to whatever that input is. So it's not like you have to go, oh, now where's the menu?
Sweet.
Now it's this. No, this thing is smart enough to know the remote's smart. The whole thing is way smarter than I am. I don't know how they do it, but they do.
Here's the smartness, if you want to call it that.
It makes it smarter.
You're the smart one. If you listen to this, the difference between the television speakers and the Bose speaker, and then you get it on a credit card because it will change the way you look at television.
It does, and this is the best example. I could play music for you, but most of us aren't listening to music when we buy this. You're watching a movie. This is the sound coming from the television turned all the way up. It sounds okay, but there's a lot going on back here when the movie was produced that we're not necessarily hearing, right? All right, first of all, there's the bass. You hear the bell, you hear the register. You hear the dialogue. You can hear the salt, the sugar, you hear the spoon, there's the bell again.
There's a reason.
And what happened to it all? It sucked the life out of it when we switched back to the speakers on this television. Back over again. Just as disaster's about to strike, you can hear the pops. There's the silverware. What happened to it all? You missed the picture falling off the wall, you missed the glass breaking. Time's up. And here come the bad guys.
Wow, that is so cool. If you ever watch television with like the PBS and you're listening to the concerts, I mean, I like that because they do a lot of concerts on PBS when it comes to especially getting into the holiday season. I mean, imagine taking the sound of your television, which is probably good, and making it great with the Bose Solo 5. That is just amazing. I want to give you the size of this in case you want to know. It is 21.5 inches wide. It is about 2 5/8 inches high, and from front to back, that is going to be about 3 3/8 inches. So figure about 2.5 by 3.5 by 21.5. And that's all the room you have to find for it, and you can actually hang this on the wall if you want to too.
A couple screws and you can hang it up on the wall or put it right under the TV. Nice small footprint. Big sound.
Get it today because that Easy Pay goes away at the end of the day today. So make sure you take advantage of it while you can. Also, we have another piece. We're not going to tell you a whole lot about it except to say that I already own a couple of these because the kids keep walking away with my first one. So I finally got a second one that I hide. This one